Hello, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back whatever day this is. So we're going to continue on with the gruesome, twosome nursery rhymes. So this is part 2. Jack and Jill went up the hill and down into the valley. Jack knew that he would take her soon, another for his tally. Her golden hair, her look so fair, she'd enticed him with her tricks, so he'd do to her what he'd done before, for a killer needs his fix. She laughed and skipped, then almost tripped, letting out a tender cry. Jack pushed her down upon the ground and shoved her skirt up high. He'd have his fun in the summer sun, then he'd maximise the thrill, as he sliced her into little bits, taking pleasure in the kill. He held her down, but then a frown as she threw him to one side, and from her purse she drew a gun. Jack flinched and stared, wide-eyed. "You think I'm Jill from down the hill, but you're mistaken, mister. My name is Tilly Dooling, and young Clara was my sister." In his mind's eye he saw Clara die by the slashing of his knife. She'd been his 10th, and he joyed it most when she'd begged him for her life. "Ah, your sister was a treasure, and I did enjoy the pleasure, but you have no proof to get me put away, so put down your gun and do it quick, before I spoil your day. For you won't kill, my dearest Till, you can't commit a crime, but I take delight in ending life, and you're on borrowed time." Jack knew no fear, his mind was clear, but he'd made a mighty blunder, for Tilly calmly raised her gun and blew his brains asunder. No Jack nor Jill went up the hill, but Tilly made the climb, and in memory of poor Clara, she has penned this little rhyme. Jack's brat could eat no fat, but his wife had no problem at all. She'd hoover it in from morning to night, grew as wide as her husband was tall. One late afternoon, with knife, fork and spoon, she chomped down on a full side of beef, then followed it up with a quart pint of lard, and a chicken she sucked through her teeth. Jack thought about asking, "Do you think that's enough?" but he knew that would be a mistake, for the look in her eye when she smelt half a pie was a thing that poor Jack couldn't take. So he left her to gorge and went to his forge to shoe their old horse known as Nelly. But his missus went harder and cleaned out the larder, yet still felt she had room in her belly. So she too ventured out, and with one massive clout hit poor Jack on the head with his anvil. Then she dragged him indoors, and down on all fours ate him whole by the light of a candle. But the last laugh was Jack's, for he was still slim, and his missus could stomach no lean. She choked on his spine and died at 9:30, whilst Nelly looked on at the scene. Then Jack's head appeared, and at Nelly he leered. The horse almost shied right away, but with a toss of her mane she stayed all the same, and approvingly gave a low neigh. Jack fought his way free by elbow and knee, and fell to the floor with a clatter, and though he was bruised, he was quite amused that his missus had grown no fatter. He looked down at her corpse, and with no remorse he told her she'd had quite the nerve to ignore his devotion when she'd taken the notion to see him as just an hors d'oeuvre. Then he stoked the forge fire and made it a pyre for the large and rotund Mrs. Spratt, and the bellows did blow, and the fire it did glow, burning hot with a 1/2 ton of fat. And last one for today. It's raining, it's pouring, my old man is snoring. When he's in bed, I'll bash in his head, and he won't get up in the morning. The end. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and press the wee bell notification. And a huge big thank you to all my subscribers, patrons and members. See you next week. Bye bye.